Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? I think we've got, what's our count at, Amerigo? Are we close to our number here of those registered?
We're at 19, so we're pretty close.
We're going to go ahead and get started here this morning. So welcome, everybody, to the Maricopa County Liaison. I always want to call it a breakfast, but we really haven't had breakfast in a while, in a number of years. So the Maricopa County Liaison morning meeting, I don't know what you'd call it otherwise. We're glad you're here. I'm Elijah Williams with EPS Group. I host these events, and we're glad to have you. We're going to go through and do some introductions. So if you want to introduce yourself, I'm just going to call you out by first name in the order that I have them here on my screen, which may or may not be exactly alphabetical or otherwise. I'm going to do my best to get everybody. And if you want to if you're interested in introducing yourself, you can turn on your camera, wave, say hello, introduce yourself. And if you don't want to turn on your camera because you're still in your pajamas, that's okay too. Just say hello. So we're going to start with, looks like, is it Pat?
Yes, it's Patrick Mahoney,
Glad to have you. Who you're with, Pat?
CEI.
CEI. Okay, very good. Daniel?
Hey, how's it going? Daniel Lass with CEI.
Okay, glad to have you. Ravi?
Good morning. This is Ravi Sripada with HDR.
Jennifer?
Good morning, Jennifer Toss McDot.
Brent?
Brent Konzachik with HDR.
Ryan?
Hi, Ryan Sauer with Intellis.
Carl?
Carl Oberg with Stockpile / Ardura.
Randy?
Good morning, Rainey Dunsey with McDot.
Todd?
Good morning, Todd Sensimino with Wilson and Company.
James?
Good morning, James Eaton with Wilson and Company.
Steve?
Good morning, Steve Wilcox with McDot.
Owen?
Good morning, Owen Mills with Wilson and Company.
Sherrick?
Good morning, Sherrick Campbell, AECOM.
Bruce?
Morning, Bruce Kay with Nino and More.
Rob?
Rob Lemke, Stan Tech, Hat Boy.
There you go. And Dwayne? Dwayne? Okay. So we are going to go, so I'm going to introduce our speakers today, and you notice I didn't call their names, but we're excited to have with us today Kurt Sharp. He is the Assets and Special Projects Branch Manager at Maricopa County. Some of you may recognize him from his 20+ years that he was at the town of Gilbert. And so we're excited to have him here today. We also have Corinne Colon, and she is recently with McDot, less than a year, she mentioned. And prior to that, she worked for the Arizona Department of Transportation. And so we're excited to have these two speakers here today. And so with that, we'll go ahead and turn the time to Kurt and Corinne.
Thank you, Elijah. And good morning, everybody. I would like to start by wishing everybody a happy Go Orange Day. In case you didn't know, this week is National Work Zone Awareness Week. Just want to give a quick shout out to that. Anybody wearing orange today?
Anybody in a work zone right now while you're on this Zoom call? Hopefully you're not doing both at the same time.
Yes, I'm in the work zone.
Are you wearing an orange vest? I guess
I was wearing a yellow vest.
Yellow, I think, is the new color, right?
That'll work. That'll work. So again, I wish we could all be in person for this. Hopefully someday we'll be able to get back together and start calling this a breakfast again. I look forward to that time. But thank you very much, everybody, for being here. We're really excited to have you. And we're very excited about our Notify McDOT project. But before we get to the main event to talk about our new system, I just wanted to, briefly explain how we got here to this point. Starts with, we've been doing quarterly customer service surveys for about 4 or 5 years or so. And back in March of 2020, we hit a bit of a survey slump. We got some unfavorable feedback. Our customer service scores were lower than we wanted to see. So McDOT leadership, working with the entire department, got together. First thing they did was decide that we were going to have a thematic goal, and it's listed here on our first slide: establish a great customer service culture department-wide. This was for fiscal year 21. And this was such an important goal to McDOT that it's also this year's thematic goal as well, fiscal year 22. So here's our goal. I wanted to go through the phases of our thematic goal, starting with define great customer service. This was our first step. And I have a slide, and I'll read it out loud to you. At McDOT, great customer service means being committed to providing the highest level of customer service to meet or exceed customer expectations by being friendly and attentive, actively listening, and delivering an accurate and timely response. So moving on to step 2, streamline our processes. It was during this phase that we felt that our current MITS system, it's an acronym for McDOT Inquiry Tracking System, we felt that this didn't meet our needs to help us improve customer service and institutionalize it within our department. We wanted to make sure that this is sewn into the fabric of McDOT. We ended up deciding during this step to purchase and work with a company called C-Click Fix. And C-Click Fix is a company that provides a digital way for residents to communicate with local governments. And also during this phase, we partnered with a consultant named Be Bravely Bold, and they helped us with this step in the process to help us configure the system and get it ready to go. The third step, this is where we brought on Be Bravely Bold. Sorry, I skipped ahead. This is where Be Bravely Bold helped us meet with all the staff here at McDOT to identify all the different issue types that we would build into the system and which staff members are assigned to these issue request types. And she also, Catherine with Be Bravely Bold, also helped us with the training phase of our thematic goal. They provided all of the training documents for our training branch to use for the training. And we're currently in the middle of training right now. We have another session coming up in about an hour, and we should be done with training by the end of this month and get ready to launch on May 3rd. The branding, marketing, and rollout plan. This was, again, we had the help of Be Bravely Bold here with the training materials. And we didn't just train the users to use Notify McDOT, which was our branding effort for C-Click Fix. So we are calling it Notify McDOT. And in addition to getting everybody ready to use the system, the training also had a customer service component. Training all of our staff on the principles and expectations of customer service. Because again, we want this to be institutionalized. We want this to last. The last phase, measure our results. We do plan to measure our results using the surveys we've been using. We also have some features within C-Click Fix that we can get some more feedback on our customer service efforts. But I did want to mention before we moved on that our February customer service survey results, we consistently met our customers' expectations. 97% of the surveys indicated that we acted with good or outstanding professionalism, and just under 90% of our customers shared their overall experience as either good or outstanding. So those are really good scores. We do expect them to go higher with the launch of Notify McDOT on May 3rd.
Okay.
Is there a question?
I just said, yay, congratulations on such high scores.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, we're very excited too. So on May 3rd, we will be joining the likes of Gilbert, Queen Creek, Casa Grande, City of Tucson, along with Pima and Santa Cruz counties as users of SeeClickFix. So at this point, I would like to turn it over to one of my favorite people here at McDOT, Corinne Colon. As you mentioned, Elijah, earlier, she is our asset management program supervisor, and she's really done it all with this project, everything from configuring the entire system to integrating it with our current asset management software, Cartograph. And here we are. We're going to hope that this first slide of Corinne's works with this link. It's a short 1-minute video. And if it doesn't work, we do have a plan B. So let's give it a shot here. Sorry about the ad.
You don't have to call and wait on hold if you want to non-emergency issue fixed in your neighborhood. When you see a or any non-emergency issue fixed, you can simply take a picture, confirm the location, match it to a provided request category, view existing issues nearby that you can start watching by tapping the heart, then continue by adding any additional details to help out the organization responsible for fixing it. And click Submit. Your request will be sent to the right organization, and you'll be notified when the work starts and when it's finished. SeeClickFix. Get things fixed, improve your community.
Okay, did that work for everybody? The volume was a little low on my end. Were you able to hear all that?
Worked great.
Okay, wonderful. And we're back to the PowerPoint slides. Oh, this is
Yes,
so
we are.
smooth today. This is great. All right, I would like to turn it over to Corinne. Take it over, Corinne.
Thanks for the introduction, Kurt. So as you saw in the video, it's a relatively simple application that's really citizen driven. I want to acknowledge kind of, going back to what Kurt said, we don't believe that Notify McDOT is the solution to our customer service in and of itself, right? Notify McDOT is really there to help us enhance our customer service and then just kind of give us another tool to achieve some of those customer service goals that we have. So getting into the functionality, in the video, you saw someone submitting something via a mobile app. So Kurt, if you want to go back one.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. And since we've decided to brand it as Notify McDOT, that is available as Notify McDOT in the iOS and Android stores, and they can submit requests through that application on their mobile device. Customers can also submit requests via the Notify McDOT web portal. And then in addition, customers can still call, email, walk in, and we have McDOT representatives that can enter requests on their behalf. So for those in our community who are not yet comfortable submitting things online or via an app, we do have a well-trained McDOT staff that's ready to assist them. So in an effort to better serve our customers, we try to create more of a one-stop shop for requests. So we've included requests for information. So things like construction or project information requests, as well as some of our more traditional requests for maintenance issues like graffiti, potholes, things like that. So getting into some of the mechanics of the workflow, once a request is submitted, it's categorized as either a roadway maintenance request or a non-roadway maintenance request. And this allows it to kind of take two different paths. Roadway maintenance requests integrate with McDOT's asset management system, Cartograph. And then roadway maintenance personnel kind of follow their normal workflow in Cartograph, where they plan work, perform work, complete work, without actually needing to be a user in both systems. And then Cartograph and Notify McDOT, as we'll see in the next slide, can interact during this process. All other requests are automatically assigned to the appropriate McDOT subject matter expert. They can communicate and provide information to the customer via Notify McDOT. And we call that our CRM, or our customer relations management portal. So as you'll see in this slide and the next one, in both cases, customers are updated throughout the process, either via emails or via the posts in Notify McDOT. And a really nice feature is that customers, when these things are posted on the mobile app and in the web portal, other folks who are maybe interested in those same issues can choose to follow those, or go in and kind of look at progress that's been made on them. So for maintenance requests, once a request comes in, it automatically creates a request in the Cartograph system. It then creates a task for our operations manager for our districts or maintenance areas to go out and investigate the issue. Once they've gone out and investigated the issue and determined kind of the appropriate course of work that needs to be done, they're going to create work tasks for their crews. And once they've done that, it's automatically going to assign it to their crews. The crews are going to get notified that they have a work task to do.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. And then once the work crew actually completes all their tasks, that O&M is going to go in and review the work tasks, and they're going to close out that request in the Cartograph system. Now, kind of throughout that process, messages are being posted on that request. So the customer is receiving an acknowledgement that their request was received. They're getting notification that a work task has been assigned. They're also being updated with the time frame we expect for the planned work. And then when the work is complete, they're also going to get another notification that it's been completed for them. So kind of updating them throughout the process. If they've elected to receive emails, they'll receive an email at each point in this process. If they've not elected to receive emails, that's okay. They can still go into the system and see all of these posts, so they can kind of follow that progress. Now, non-maintenance requests are handled a little differently because they're not actually being integrated into Cartograph. These will be automatically assigned to a McDOT subject matter expert. The assignee is going to receive an email that they've been assigned to an issue. We do have backups, so someone is out of the office for a time period. They have backups that'll also receive the notification. So somebody's always there to kind of be assigned to this issue. The assignee is going to post an acknowledgement message to the customer, so they'll receive that. And then they're going to post any response, any updates, in progress notes, and the customer will see those as well. Once the request is closed, another message will be posted thanking the customer for their request. And you can kind of see on the right-hand side of your screen, this is kind of what it looks like when you're looking at requests. So in addition to really helping us achieve our customer service goals, we really want this to support McDOT's core values. So when we talk about being service-minded, how Notify McDOT fits into that is it really allows us to provide our customers with a one-stop shop for many of their requests. They're able to make those requests in a really user-friendly system. On average, it only takes a minute or so to enter requests. And then the request is routed to the appropriate individual, which ensures a really quick response for them. In addition to showing requests in an area, the reason for that is we hope it will help us reduce some of our duplicate requests. So being able to see where we have maybe requests for a pothole in an area, the next person who may want to request that to be fixed can go on, see on the map that somebody's already requested that and work's being done on it. And instead of creating a new request, they can kind of follow that request. And then team builders, communication, the status of requests, and other request info are really found in the same place. So that really ensures that all staff have the same information and we can kind of better collaborate to resolve these customer requests. The integration with Cartograph as well really ensures that team members who primarily are working out in the field don't need to come into the office to handle requests. So if they're working in the field, they typically have an iPad that they would work in Cartograph on. They can continue that process as well. And then get it done with a smile. Notify McDOT really allows us to kind of craft some really customer-focused responses so that we can really ensure that all of our communication is positive and helpful. It allows us to kind of create some templates so we can kind of start as a baseline and then personalize those for each request. So where are we now? So we've completed testing. Our asset management team, along with our communications group and our roadway teams, did a lot of testing of the software, the integration, the workflows. We worked for several months doing that. Final configuration was completed by our group in cooperation with SequentFix and Cartograph. And we completed those on January 20th of this year. As Kurt mentioned earlier, training is ongoing right now and should be completed by the end of this month. Our consultant, Be Bravely Bold, and our McDOT training group developed some really customer-centric training. And as Kurt mentioned, not just how to work in the system, but all of those really good customer service values as well. And then the ongoing training that really began towards the beginning of this month. So all of the folks who will actually be using the customer relations portal, so essentially intaking some of those requests, we hope to have them trained by the end of May, or I'm sorry, excuse me, by the end of April. So We did a test launch on January 20th after we did all the final configurations. So if you go on the Google Store or Apple Store, you will see Notify McDOT as an app that can be downloaded. What we didn't do is we didn't do any marketing or kind of promotion of it. And what this really allowed us to do is we've received, very few requests, but we've gotten some really good, we've identified some potential issues that customers could have, or even the folks at McDOT that are kind of dealing with all these issues might have. So it's allowed us to see how it performs in a production environment. So that's been really helpful. So we've spent a few months kind of tweaking all of those configurations and making sure that the workflow is ready for our launch. And we're really excited to announce the soft launch is going to start on May 3rd. So we're just thrilled to kind of get that out there. By soft launch, we mean we'll do some kind of targeted promotion of it. It'll be on the McDOT website. So we don't expect a huge number of folks to start using it right away. Again, that'll kind of give us a nice transition period, not just for citizens, but also for those staff at McDOT that are kind of handling these issues. And really, the goal there is for the first several weeks after the soft launch is to have a very brief daily meet, just kind of get feedback, maybe what kind of citizen feedback they have, and then also feedback from our staff. A big part of asset management is not just providing good customer service to citizens, but also our internal customers at McDOT. So we want to make sure that the staff that are handling these requests are really comfortable in the system, that it's working really well for them. So getting that feedback from them is really crucial. And we hope even when we make our big launch where we're marketing it to a lot of people, that we intend to continue with that feedback so we can kind of continuously improve Notify McDOT. So Kurt, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, if we want to open it up for questions.
Yeah, we did want to leave. We thought there would be a lot of questions about this because, you're all going to be out there driving Maricopa County DOT roads, and you can help us be our eyes and ears out there. If you're driving to work, you might see a pothole or a damaged guardrail. We have several issue types in there, and it really is a seamless system using location services on your phone. We know exactly where these things are, so that when we go out and investigate these, we know exactly where we're looking. And there really are a lot of benefits to a system like this. For example, accountability is a big one, for the crews that are out there maintaining our roads, when these issues are public. This is like a social media app. When their tasks are public, it's just human nature to get to things a little bit quicker. Another one of my favorite parts, when one of our crew members completes a project, again, let's say it's a pothole, they can take a picture of the completed project and show off their work a little bit, take pride in what they do, and let the public see what they did. So there are a lot of benefits. Corinne did mention the duplicate feature. That's a huge one. We could have a huge issue that hundreds of people want to know about. They can all go on the site or using their phone on the app. They can follow each request, similar to some of the other social media apps. So when we make an update to that issue, hundreds of people, however many people are following that issue, they're going to get that real-time status update information. And as you can see, that's very efficient for McDOT. We don't have to individually call or get back to all these people on an individual basis. We can do it that one time and we're able to refocus our efforts on the next issue or other things here at McDOT. But Corinne did also mention during her portion of the presentation, this app is available now. If you have an Apple phone or an Android, they are available now. And we do ask that if you do download it to your phone, please wait till May 3rd. If something sneaks in there, and some of them have already since it's been available, we're able to handle it, but we just don't want to be overwhelmed until all of our staff are trained and 100% ready for this. But on May 3rd, we really do encourage you to help us out, get our crews out there to make our roads better. And that's what we want to do is make it easier for the public and on our staff.
Kurt, this is Ravi.
Hi, Ravi.
Hey, this is a fantastic app. I'm pretty excited to see this and try it out down the line. But I'm just kind of curious, like, does the app define the jurisdictions of McDOT versus like different agencies? And what if the reported issue is outside the agency of McDOT? And do we reach out to them? Like, for example, if it's a city of Phoenix, okay, do we let the user know we're sorry it's not in our jurisdiction? Or how does that workflow work out?
That is a great question, Ravi, and we've been asked that question quite a bit. Corinne has a great answer to that, as she's the one that configured the system using GIS maps and layers, but she would do a much better job of explaining that answer than I would.
Okay.
Thanks, Kurt. Yeah, so if you're on the app and you're not in kind of on a roadway that McDOT would generally maintain, you're going to get one of kind of two things that would happen. One it would tell you that location is outside of the service area. If you're on the web portal, it's going to show you, so say you were on a Phoenix road, it will show you that you can kind of post some things related to Phoenix. Unfortunately, Phoenix does not use C-Click Fix, so it wouldn't give you kind of that list of request categories. However, if they're in the East Valley, Gilbert as well as Queen Creek, if you're kind of on the boundary there, it is going to direct your request to the correct jurisdiction. So if I believe the street I'm on is McDOT, it actually is maintained by Gilbert. It's actually going to give me, it's going to bring up Gilbert's request categories, and then it's going to submit your request to them.
That's awesome. Pretty smart feature. So thank you.
Yeah.
That's a great question, Robbie. I know that we had that posted in the chat as well, that same question. So I think that works great.
To see that. Okay.
Any other questions for Kurt or Corinne? I had one, and this may be kind of a bit out there, but I know that the transportation planning branch at McDOT, when they do public engagement, they have been using lately an interactive map that lets people, when they show up at the meeting, post or go down and mark things along maybe a specific corridor that they're studying, where there might be congestion or there might be safety issues or there might be maintenance issues. And they can kind of just post things along that route in the public meeting or after the public meeting as they choose with this interactive tool. Has there been any thought of trying to use this new system, this Notify McDOT system, to just kind of either interact with what they're doing on the planning side or replace the one that they're using on the planning side with those public engagement meetings?
So I'll step in. That's okay.
Thank you.
I think there are two different functions, Elijah. We haven't looked at integrating them. The system that you just saw really is associated with how we're controlling our maintenance workflow and getting customer input to things that need to be fixed. Whereas on the planning side, it's more along the lines of we're trying to gather information as to what citizens see as the gaps in our transportation system in order to then determine what projects from a long-range transportation planning perspective that we're going to do. So kind of two different things. We haven't really talked about how we could integrate those, but it's a great question, and I think we'll spend some time trying to figure that out. Right now, I think we're looking at it as two separate items, but definitely something to consider.
Yeah. C-Click Fix does have a lot of features that we will look at as, after we launch and get our arms wrapped around everything that we have built in there currently. But it does have a lot of other features that we will look at. One feature I just experienced in Gilbert. I live in Gilbert, and they had to do some water line work, a huge project that took months. They were able to use C-Click Fix sort of like a reverse 911 system, where all the users that are signed up with C-Click Fix accounts can receive a message if you would like to, let them know that their water may be discolored for a little while or might have an odor for a day or two. Just received that recently, and again, it's just one of the many features that we could use at some point as well.
I have a question.
Just got, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh, you can go. I'll wait.
It's okay. So you started first. That's fine.
My question is, I know there is some discussion about marketing and that you guys haven't marketed it yet because it's going to be launching in May, but is that something that you want us as contractors to also share so that citizens know and community members know that that's kind of the 911 type of system that they want to use moving forward?
We would never turn down an opportunity to have people help us get the word out. Certainly, we don't have an exact date of when we're going to start actively marketing this new app. We're thinking of maybe, anticipating 2 or 3 weeks after our soft launch, again, just to make sure that that it's working well. And then when we start marketing it, we would love the extra help. And I just wrote a note down here, Amber, to reach out to ACEC to maybe help us get the word out to all of you. That would be wonderful. The more people that use this system, the better the system is going to work in the end. So thank you for offering to help us out. We would definitely take you up on that.
Of course. I mean, I know you guys stressed customer centric. So, I mean, as long as all of us are working together to kind of get the word out, I think it would be better moving forward.
Certainly. Yes. Thank you very much, Amber.
Yeah. Just another question too. So is there like for example, like fixing a pothole may be done with a week, but there might be some instances where the work that needs to be done may be taken like maybe a couple of months. Like how does the communication process? Sometimes like I'm afraid like customers who posted the message, oh, it's not getting done, and they might get a little upset or angry. So is there like a definite timeline when they post that issue?
Yeah, the pothole. Yeah, Robbie, the pothole is a great example. It could be a small pothole that could be done quickly. It could be a medium-sized one, which might require a little more planning and preparation, or it could be large, which might even require a contractor to help us out with that. But the training that we have going on right now, part of it is a huge part of it is to make sure that we're communicating with the customer. So if it does happen to be one of those that gets pushed out a ways, our staff is being trained and they're expected to communicate through status updates. And again, if they provide an email, they will get real-time updates. Anybody following that particular issue will get those updates. And our staff is expected to communicate that. If it's going to take a long time, or if it goes past maybe our internal set deadlines.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Kurt or Corinne?
I have one other question.
Okay.
So when I'm looking, when we were watching through the systems, is this kind of similar to Waze, the software, like where I don't know if you're familiar with it. Basically, it's like a Google Maps, but it kind of shows traffic delays, if there's something coming up, if there's something in the road. Is it similar to that where people can open it up before they start traveling to kind of see what's going on and areas to avoid? Is that what it is?
Well, again, that might be a feature we could try to replicate, I guess, in similar ways that Waze uses. We don't have that set up right now. There is a map view in addition to a list view of all of our issues. If you're looking at the map view, you'll see pins for every request that's been issued. So again, as we move forward, that's something that we might be able to put in there, as far as some of our projects. But it's not set up initially, but it's certainly something we can look at. But I don't think it would be something that you would use every day before you drove into work to avoid certain things. We're a ways off from anything like that. Corinne, is there anything to add to that?
No, I think you summed it up pretty well.
Okay, well, thank you, Kurt and Corinne, for that presentation today, and thank you for everybody for your questions. Before we close, is there any announcements from Maricopa County? I see Randy and Steve was here, but Jesse and Jennifer, are there any announcements from McDOT that would interest this group today?
Yeah, I'll just reiterate what Kurt said about National Work Zone Awareness Week, and that today is Go Orange. So all of you who are at home, go home and change you're at home. So go put on an orange shirt and support our workers out there in the field every day. The theme for this year is move over. So, when you see those flashing lights, whether it be a construction vehicle or police or a tow truck, it's important that you move over or slow your speed. So that's our message for this week, and really appreciate everybody's patience as you go through our work zones, and just stay off your phone, stay alert, and move over. So thanks, Elijah.
Great point, Jennifer. Thank you. Anything from ACEC, from Justin or Amerigo today? Any announcements?
Oh, just that one little announcement about roads and streets. So we are formally kicking everything off. So all sponsorships and exhibitor booths will be open on Friday, April 18th. And then our deadline for submissions for presentations is May 2nd. And that is also the magical day when general registration opens. So we will be ready for the barrage beginning at 8 a.m. sharp. And we really hope to see you there, September 28th, 29th, and 30th at the El Conquistador. So mark your calendars. If you guys need anything or have any questions for us, Marigo and I are always here to help you out. And yeah, we really look forward to seeing you down there. And Kurt and McDOT, you always do such a great job for us. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. I also learned today, while I am wearing orange, that I need to update my wardrobe with safety yellow instead of safety orange. So I'm, on trend for next year. So I'll be sure to mark that down too.
Great.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Is there any other announcements that I missed or anything else to visit about? If not, we will look forward to seeing you guys next month in April, and have a wonderful Easter weekend. And if you have a Good Friday off for your kids, hopefully you have a great holiday weekend as well. Thank you, everybody.
Guys, have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.